All right. Hello, fabulous mentors, instructional coaches, administrators, all you fabulous people in education. Happy, is it Thursday? So it's Friday Eve. I'm totally curious, how many inches of snow do you have at your house? It seems like it's what was predicted isn't happening in some places and is worse in some places. Oh my gosh, Tara. And where are you located too? I'd love to hear how much snow you have and where you are. Castle Rock? Seriously? Oh my gosh. 10 inches in Aurora. I hope none of you have school tomorrow. Really, Jolene? Huh? It's like it died right over the foothills. It didn't do much after that. 3 feet in Castle Rock, 1.5 feet in Lone Tree. Man, it got dumped on. Okay, Bennett. Yep. Yeah, I'm just outside Colorado Springs, and my son said we've got like, I don't know, 7 or 8 inches, but I feel like a lot of it melted first. Courtney, my sister lives in Johnstown. I love them up there. It's like quadrupled in size in the last few years. It's massive now. La Vida, really? Okay. Her name's Lisa Adams. Her husband's John Adams. Both her kids go to a private school. So I don't know if they'd be in the school there, but you'd know her if you know her. She's loud. She's like that girl at the party. She's fun though. Well, I hope that those of you that have more than a few inches of snow have a snow day tomorrow. I know in the Springs it's been called off, and then they have their spring break starting on Monday. So all the kids are like, woo, we got spring break early. It's the best thing ever. So you guys can stay safe and warm. Oh, they called it this morning. Well, I guess Douglas County with Castle Rock, they'd have to. That's insane. Yeah, crazy. Well, welcome to March's session. I looked back at our recording. I think Christian came up with the new name of our sessions of Mentor Madness, which I think is kind of appropriate for March Madness going on right now. So our first official session of Mentor Madness, and we're going to go over Unit 7. I can't believe we're already on Unit 7. There's only a couple units left, you guys. It's crazy. Ugh. Well, our objectives are pretty clear tonight. We're really talking about individualizing our approaches as mentors for the needs of our mentees. Now, I know we've been doing this all year long. You guys have done beautifully with addressing their needs and concerns and stress and successes and different situations. But this is more of a reminder of things we can be cognizant of, that we can control at this point in the year. We're talking about conversation and instructional strategies. We'll talk about some unique needs of your teachers. We're going to revisit your goals from the beginning of the year. And then as always, we're going to model that. We're going to discuss things. We're just going to have fun tonight. You look at self-care. You're going to give something to give your mentee and a strategy that you can use. And actually, we're going to collaborate a little bit on the strategy you can use because it's testing season coming up. And holy smokes, yeah, we're all going to lose brain cells pacing around the room. So let's get started. I am actually on location. It sounds like a, like a sports trip, or I'm live from, I'm not in Colorado, thankfully. I dodged the snowstorm. But based on these clues, and no, I'm not saying go drink. It's just something this place is known for. Does anyone recognize any of these things and can guess where I am? I am in the US. I will say that. Oh my gosh, Lisa. What did you think, Hovland? Holy smokes.
Tennessee.
What's that, Hovland?
Tennessee.
Close. I guess they're more whiskey. And this is a picture of bourbon. Lisa, are you from Louisville, or however you say it here? Because that's where I am. I'm in Louisville, Kentucky, not Louisville or Louisville, like it's in Colorado. Are you from there, Lisa? Oh, beautiful. Yes. I have never been here before. It is a lovely little city. My friends and I actually just walked down to the Louisville Slugger factory, and we saw that bridge is actually closed because a semi truck went like halfway off of it. It's just hanging there, trying to figure it out. Churchill Downs is here. I guess the Kentucky Derby's in like 2 months or something. I don't follow horse racing at all. But if you've never been here before, you should come here. You guys know ISTE that happens in Denver. This is called KISTE, which is kind of cute, but it's the Kentucky version of that. And so I was speaking with them about artificial intelligence and meeting with some virtual schools about their programs. It's a lovely state. It's 70 degrees here, but I have to fly home tomorrow to Colorado Springs. So I'm hoping I can make it home without a delay. Because yeah, it's insane. You guys are living this lovely winter storm. Well, go Lisa. And I'm happy that your brother could work here because it's a great city. Everyone's very, very kind. All right, so let's go ahead and move into our engage. And this will lead us to the time where you guys can go to a breakout room and share concerns, successes, questions, all of that. But what I really want you to think about, because this is the time of year, well, I think most districts are here. If not, your district might get here, has already been here, where you have to answer the question, are you willing to mentor again next year? Or will you mentor again next year? Or maybe some schools are saying, you're so amazing, you're going to mentor next year. But we need to start reflecting on what this year has been like. So when you get to your breakout room, go ahead and think about what has been the most difficult part of mentoring or coaching this year, or even as an administrator, what's been the most difficult part of that job as well. Make sure you share in the room. You guys can have some extra time to talk or whatever. We'll go there for about 7 minutes or so, not too long. So let me go ahead and open up those rooms. Let's see, let's set up, we'll do 4. We'll do a timer. Well, that's strange. Let me do this many rooms then. Hang on, they're only putting one person in the 4th room. And that's not gonna work. So let me pull some people down. That way they're more balanced. And then I'll send you guys onto them. All right, I'm opening the rooms. I'll see you guys in just a little bit, but consider what's been the most difficult part of your year. Carrie, did you get kicked out of your room? I'm trying to move you back.
I did. Thank you.
Rats. How do I move you back? Let's see here.
I don't know. I touched the wrong thing.
Let me do this. Okay, there you go. That might help. Perfect. Hooray, glad you made it, Doretta. There's just about 4 minutes left in a breakout room. We're just talking about things that have been hard or difficult part of the year. So I'm going to toss you into a breakout room so you can listen in on that conversation.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Yeah. There you go. You should have a pop-up now.
Thank you.
All right, everyone's coming back. So I'd love to know, you can throw it in the chat box, or if you'd like to use your microphone, feel free to do that. But what were some of the struggles you all have faced as mentors, or the most difficult part of your job? Mm. Mm-hmm. Lisa and Jenny bring up a great point. Oh, there goes Jennifer too. Look, everybody's saying that. Oh no. Yeah, Christian, that's a tough one. Administration changes. Yeah. Audrey, that's tough. Yeah, lots of the time issue for sure. Oh goodness, Doretta. But we're going to go over some things tonight that can hopefully help with that. Jennifer, I've heard that the mentors take on a lot because of the rock stars and are overwhelmed. And I feel like there's actually a term for employees that work hard and do well actually get given more work because they can be trusted and counted on and they're rock stars. And so it's almost like a backwards punishment for being a strong employee. You get more work. Whereas you see people, not necessarily in the mentor role, but just teachers, I'm sure we've all seen them, where they're the ones that do the minimum. And I can't help but think, how am I making the same amount? Or they're not being called out, but then I'm giving more work. It's very backwards. Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, Jennifer, that balance. We're actually going to talk about that tonight as well. All right. So in thinking about this and a struggling mentee or whatever it may be, I would love to see you all post one piece of advice you give a new teacher at this point in the year. Now there's testing going on. There's all sorts of crazy stuff going on. What advice would you give them right now? Like realistically, what would you do? What would you say to them? Like, hold on, here we go. Get ready to get your steps in. And after you post, look at what the other mentors are writing too. And if you see something that connects with you, copy and paste it or take a screenshot. I love this. Yes, take a deep breath. Have fun. Yes. Mm-hmm. Ooh, teach outside when you can. Absolutely. A mental health day. I love that you can use your sick time for mental health now. That's huge. Yeah. Focus on growth. Yes. I love how positive you all are. That this time is tough, but keep chugging along. Breathe deeply. Celebrate. All of that great stuff. Wonderful. Good. Fancy coffee. I like that. Don't get discouraged. Yes. And see, this is why you guys are mentors, because even at this point in the year, you can think that about the positive things. You can think about how to encourage someone. Yeah. That's huge. That's why you guys are my favorite humans. How is it going? Yes. Wonderful. Good. Well, thank you guys for sharing that. That's helpful advice right there. And that's really going to be the theme of tonight is you all know your mentees and what they need. You all are expert teachers and you know how to differentiate. So that's why I'm going to keep on asking you for your viewpoint and what you think, because I think if we can put, 23 different viewpoints together, at some point, one of those is going to click with your mentee. We're going to get this right. All right. Are there any questions about the coursework? I am catching up on grading. One of the issues I've run into is that the asynchronous course, a lot of people have put it off. And so I had like 206 assignments this week. And so I'm trying to get that graded so it doesn't get overwhelming while still trying to maintain this one. So I apologize for the delay in that. I did click show your grade to student for Unit 6 synchronous. So that grade should be showing up now. Yes, grades will be updated ASAP. Probably tomorrow when I'm sitting in an airport delayed. Any questions or anything I can address or help you all with? Awesome. Oh, sure. Go ahead, Karen.
I just had trouble on this one was actually, I think, Unit 6, the video library. I couldn't like figure out how to share the Google files, so I just put the links to the videos in a Google Doc and uploaded that.
That's perfect. Yep.
Okay.
That's absolutely great. Yeah, because I didn't realize Schoology limited things and had trouble uploading. So that's the perfect way to do it, Karen. Thank you for doing that. And I love your messy bun. I can never do those. Beautiful. Awesome. Yeah, Jolene.
Sorry. I don't know if you can answer this, but is this program considered an approved mentor teacher training program for the CDE mentor teacher endorsement?
Yep, and this is actually from CDE. So this is like the only one out there for Colorado. So yep, this is the one you need.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. I know there's a few of you that have done some work already in Unit 7. So if you all have anything to add in, please feel free to raise your hand for the microphone or write something in the chat box. But this really is about differentiating our approaches and then finding a strategy that will work. I know Doretta said she's having a hard time with her mentee, and I'm sure there'll be struggles. Even if things are going beautifully right now, I'm sure something is going to go wonky in March, April, and May. There's just too much going on, too many emotions, too much stress to not have something kind of go sideways. So that's why the timing of this is right now and not the very beginning when we're thinking, what are we doing? But if we think about our students and how we have to differentiate not only how we level the content, but how we present it as well, it also applies to our new teachers because they really are students of the craft of education. I know we're all learning constantly. We're all trying new things. But for new teachers, I mean, I have issues with education prep programs because I don't think they actually prepare them for what goes on in a classroom. I'd say 60% of it. So they really are kind of baptized with fire during this first year. Like things are getting thrown at them and, you know, that kid needs this, but over here you have to do that and manage your time. And, you know, the list goes on and on. So thinking about differentiating things is important for our teacher students. They really were there. So if we think about, instead of saying students, we put new teachers. So first of all, the content, what new teachers need to know, understand, and do something with. Now this happens more in the beginning of the year, but I'm sure things are still coming up for them. Like all of a sudden you have this parent that's super upset with you for no reason. How do I do that? That's more of like the calibrating phase of mentor coaching. If we go to the process, the different ways that new teachers make sense of the content. So we've given them all these tools. I know someone commented, you know, figuring out the balance of when to push and when to do that, but keep them excited and all of that. How do we encourage them to use that content now? We told them a strategy for classroom management. Now, how do they make sense of that? That's a big part of teaching. Now, if you look at the product, the artifacts that new teachers create to show what they know and do not know. This is huge. This is what we see in observations. We see the lesson plan. We see the pacing going on. We see the strategy of engagement through a tech tool, whatever that may be. This is the easiest one to spot because it's right there in front of us. It's student behavior. It's test scores. It's the product of what you've given them. They've now processed it. And then here's the product. This is the final thing about it. Yes, Doretta. Experience is the best teacher, but it's often the hardest teacher. Now, over here on the right is a little more tricky. And I think this is where new teachers are at this time of year. They have a few months under their belt. They've survived the crazy Valentine drama. Now we're getting into the spring break where kids are just wanting to go on break or the snowstorms, whatever may be happening. But if we're thinking about readiness, it's a new teacher understanding of their own needs. So that self-care you all brought up, being able to celebrate the small things. You've done everything you can for testing. Now just, you know, let the test show what you've taught your students. The relationships you've built. Do they understand their own needs? And are they starting to create some boundaries? Like, I'm totally curious. Use the emoji response tool at the bottom of Google Meet. Has your mentee said no to something and it was good for them? Like they said, no extra duty, or no, I need to take a break. Yay! That's amazing. And I credit you all for that, because you're empowering them to know a boundary is a good thing. Oh, that makes me so happy to see that. Good. They're able to say no. That's huge. I didn't do that for years into my career. So you guys are helping them understand their own needs. Now going into their interests, encouraging new teacher involvement in learning. This is where we go from the calibrating to collaborating to coaching. So is your mentee still hungry to learn? Now, I get that right now they're probably not like, I'm going to research, Harvard's best strategies for thinking. Probably not. But are they still willing to try? That can be their interest right now. That can be their level of involvement in learning. And that's okay. That's okay to be there right now this time of year. But then do you even have mentees kind of, well, maybe I will try this right now. Or reaching out to you and going, this is my first state testing season. I went to the 9-hour boring training. I did the little thing online, but how do you survive this? And they're asking you questions. That can be a level of interest for your new teacher. And then going on to learning preferences. Processing is in the mind of the thinker, the new teacher. Do they understand their limits now? With that strategy worked, this one did not. I prefer to do it this way. I like my lessons to run this way. I don't like that. Are they understanding who they're becoming as a teacher? And these are all different ways that we can coach for differentiation. Now, this picture is in the course content, but if you want to take a little screenshot of this, and in the next couple of months, if you get lost in tasks or your mentee's confused, you're just running out of things to do with them, pull this picture up and ask them one of these questions. Hey, I'm just curious. Are you starting to understand your own needs as an educator? What preferences do you have with your classroom? What strategies have failed and which ones do you love? And that can even spark a conversation to get them reflecting and then thinking about their new identity as an educator. It's very important to do. So what I'd love to know is, I'm going to open up a poll actually. Let me send it out to you. Which aspect of differentiation has your mentee struggled with most? And feel free to read those descriptions again. But which one has seemed to be the most difficult with your mentee or a new teacher? This is actually my first time doing a poll in Google Meet. So hopefully it's just like popped up on your screen. You can see it there. Let me see here.
You have to hit the shapes in the bottom right corner next to the chat. And then you'll see polls.
I did that, and then it said vote. So now it's a highlighted vote. Show everyone the results.
I viewed the poll. They just have to go to the shapes in the bottom right corner.
That's
Oh,
what
I
I was
see.
going
So
to say
like
too.
participants need to do that. Okay. So yeah, the little triangle, square, circle, click that and then go to poll. I see. Okay, thank you. I've never done this before. That's perfect. And a lot of times when you're thinking about these, and I see a lot of votes for content and process, a lot of times they can get stuck in that and they're not ready to move on and identify, their preferences or their readiness. So that could be why we're seeing that skew there with the content and the process of it. Yeah. Or even in the past if they struggle with it. That's interesting. I was curious to see how this would come out, and I was wondering if that would happen. Does anyone want to guess why process seems to be the toughest thing for new teachers? Use your microphone or chat. Yeah, it's very difficult. I would agree with that for sure. Oh, Karen, that's interesting. I have to narrow it down. Yeah, Jenny, sometimes don't you wish we were like engineers and there's like one outcome, one equation, one formula? We are in the career field of humans. The most unpredictable things to work with. Yeah. That's great insight. Yep. How do they take what you are saying and make it work for their personality, their style, and their unique group of tiny humans that there's teaching? That's tricky. Yep. That's a good point, Courtney. Are my kids even learning? Yeah, absolutely. And that's definitely difficult. Stephanie, that's interesting too. How do we teach it? Yep. I think mentors are in a unique position to where I think veteran teachers, I think it was Christian said it earlier, where they get stuck in their ways and they think, why don't they know this? Or like, doesn't everybody do this? Or this is the right way to do it. And as mentors, we see, nope, you got to think back to when we first started this, and it wasn't intuition at that point. It was a struggle to do the simplest things. And it took so much working memory to do it. It wasn't just part of our habits. So you are in a unique position to really support them and understand where they're coming from. And that's by choice. So that's complete credit to you all. So thinking about the 4 stances, now we're going back to like, I think it was, 4 or something. And I apologize that things are so small. I don't have a second screen to make it bigger. So I'll try to do that as often as I can, but then I can't see the chat box. So I'll just do it like this. So remember, calibrating is really about standards, check the box, basic stuff. Consulting is when you're Google. They're asking you questions, but you're trying not to make them dependent on you. And then collaborating is now you're both talking and they're asking you questions. And then coaching is like they have an idea and you ask a question to encourage another thought. And then you say, go for it, and you support them. And if it fails, they take that risk, you're so proud of them because they took a risk and now they know more about themselves. It's a beautiful process. But coaching really moves from us to you. So I'm totally curious about this. Use those emojis again. Thumbs up if this is true, thumbs down, or no emoji if it's not. Is anyone still, in general, stuck at the consulting phase? You're Google, and they really are dependent on you for most of what they do. Because that can happen. Doretta, is that part of the struggle? Yeah, Jennifer, go ahead. Oh, you're saying you have it? Yeah. Good. I'm glad most teachers are figuring out. And I do want to say, if there's times where your mentee goes backwards, or Doretta, you find that your mentee is just stuck, do not let that reflect on you. You all are doing wonderful things. And even by showing up one evening a month shows me how committed you are to new teachers. So don't take that on as a personal failure. That is just a struggle that new teacher has to go through. And you being a support, and I know you're trying to push them beyond that, that is a credit to what you're doing right. And you're there and you're supporting them. So if a mentee is stuck there, a new teacher is super struggling, that may just be part of their journey of becoming an educator. And you are there to support them alongside that. So absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, Marianne, getting them to that point, that's huge. Absolutely. There may be one thing that, maybe your mentee is doing great, except for one thing. Maybe it's becoming part of a professional community. That can be hard. It's intimidating to walk into a teacher lounge with all these veteran teachers who know what they're talking about, and you're like the newbie in there. That can be intimidating. Or maybe it is just pacing out their class. Maybe you go in there and you realize kids are bored a lot. We need to speed this up. Or, whoa, put the brakes on, slow down. So if your mentee is stuck in one phase and you're still consulting with them, but pushing them to collaborating or coaching, that's okay. If they're in coaching all the time and need occasional going back, that's okay. But whatever support you're providing is great. Don't own that. That is, you're doing your job and they're just on their educational journey. Yeah. So what I'd like to do is, with our time this evening, I want to give you a minute to not only complete an assignment, it's actually kind of shortened from this unit, but then also share your thoughts about a question that I'm going to pose to you all. First things first, though, while I put the links in the chat box, I want you to pull up your goal from the beginning of the year. Feel free to go into Schoology and look it up, or if you have it written down somewhere, but you're going to need your goal for this assignment. I also know there's a few of you, I think it was Courtney, Marianne, and Hovlin, have completed all the work for this unit. So this assignment, I'll actually give you credit for one in Unit 8 that can still apply to it. So everybody's going to get credit for an assignment tonight. That way there's one less thing on your box to do, and you can use this time to get that finished and kind of get ahead. So while you're pulling up your goal, I will go ahead and get the links to all of this. So in the chat box, I have posted links to 2 articles and then a Slido. It's actually a cool extension for Google Chrome. If you haven't used it yet, you can play with it tonight and see if it's something you like. But, oh goodness, let me see here. I need to fix the Slido. It is not showing up. Okay, while you read, I'm going to fix that. But read the 2 articles. And basically what I want you to do is think about one thing you can pull from the observation strategies, and one thing you can pull about relationship building with your mentee that will help you accomplish your goal. That's what you're looking for. So one strategy from the first article, one from the second article, and then apply it to your goal. And I will fix the Slido and make sure you guys can do that. We'll start with about 15 minutes. We'll go from there. Okay, the Slido link should work now. Be sure to include your name when you post on Slido. Excuse me. All right. And actually, if you're still working, go ahead and pause on that. I love seeing the reflection. And I am curious, has anyone used Microsoft Coach before? I know it's recommended in the article, and I'm just curious if anyone's used it. Okay, well, it's a new one that we can maybe research over the summer or watch a video on or something, because I'm very curious about it too. I'll have to take a look at it. Well, I'm glad to see that a lot of you were able to find something that applied to your situation or could really support you in accomplishing your goal. That is huge. So congrats on that. I hope you guys are able to implement that in the next couple of months before the year ends. And I know someone mentioned adding it to your mentor handbook. That would be an amazing idea. Feel free to even just put the link to the article in there, and that way you don't lose it and your mentee can actually look at it so they know what you're doing as well. So just an idea there. All right, so we're actually, we're going to wrap up a little bit earlier tonight. I'm going to go over the strategies I have for you as promised, as always. And then, oh my goodness, my presentation, where did it go? There it is. We will wrap it up. And then if you have to finish your assignment, you'll have that time. That way it's not taking any extra time that you hadn't already set aside. So self-care challenges. We've hydrated. We're mindful. We're thankful. We celebrate things and we rest. You guys set a personal goal, hopefully. And if you can't remember what that is, go back and look. Never too late to keep on working on it. Making plans to do something you enjoy. And this was kind of ironic in light of the snowstorm. But your new self-care strategy for the next month or so, especially since everybody has a break coming up, is to get outside every day with no tech for 1 week. That can be sitting on your deck and leaving your phone inside. That can be going for a walk and putting your phone on silent and not checking your Apple Watch. It can be playing outside with your kids or your dogs or going on a hike if the weather gets good enough. Hopefully it does. I think it is supposed to warm up a little bit. Even the act of stepping outside and just taking some deep breaths away from tech is very cleansing for your thoughts. It can free things up. I know some people get some separation anxiety from tech. And if you choose to set this goal with your mentee, and they're like, I don't know if I can do it. Maybe you'd be like, you know what? We're both going to set a goal of 5 minutes a day. That's it, just 5 minutes. You want to do this with me? And that way you're kind of working together on it. But the key is outside with fresh air and no technology. So you can take your Apple Watch off and leave it in. It's kind of a big deal. That's been one of my goals, like my New Year's resolutions, and it's tricky. It's hard. I feel very disconnected, especially with my son being so far away. I feel like, what if he calls right now? It will be okay. Yes, absolutely. Jenny, I forgot to mention what you guys are getting credit for. So you all will get credit for this 7.2, actually, that assignment. That one's a little bit longer and more involved. And so I wanted to give you credit for something that would save you some time. And then Julie and Marianne, I know you guys have already turned that assignment in. So you'll get a credit for the 8.2 assignment. So 7.2 and 8.2. I figured that would save you the most time. All right, so we got self-care going on. There's strategy for your mentee. You're going to ask them to step outside with no technology. But then here is your strategy for the month. Now, I love these because I get to share some fun stuff. And by the way, did anyone try that TED Talk zombie riddle? I'm so curious if anyone used it in their classroom. Oh, Audrey, did anyone get it? Oh, good. Julie did too. It's tricky. It really is.
I tried it with my math class today with fifth graders, and they loved it.
Oh,
we
good.
just needed something that we were all tired because it's been parent-teacher conferences, and I was like, let's get the energy up. And I had one group that figured it out, so it was fun. I love that idea. So thank you.
Very good. Yes. Awesome. Good. Audrey, they went wild when they saw the answer. The kids are like, oh, why didn't I think of it? If you haven't used it yet and you have, like Julie said, some time or there's low energy in your class, pull that up and see what your kids do with it because it really is fun. All right, so let's see here. Let me pull up that window again. I want to show you a tool. Now, this does work for every grade level. I think it becomes more and more useful as kids advance in grade levels. But what I want to show you is something called classx.org. So if you're the teacher, any English teachers in here, you're going to go yes, or social studies teachers. Or I know as part of Randa and every kind of evaluation, everyone has to teach reading, writing, and math now. So this is Class X, and it's actually a grading tool for free. So when you come here, oh, nope, I don't need to create an account. It's going to ask you to create an account, and you're going to go yes, and use your school email. And then you're going to land here. You will come to your dashboard. Now, this is a tech tool / AI. It has a lot of different parts to it, kind of like Magic School. Oh, I do have to log in. But the grading tool is something kind of unique to it. All right, come on. Okay. It's going to kick you here to your AI tools. You're going to view them all. And as usual, I do not like to pay for things. So do not get the premium version. You don't need to. Everything should be free. And you can see there's a whole bunch of different things in here you can use, but I wanted to show you this essay grader. Now, is this perfect? No. Does it give you a place to start? Or if you are overwhelmed and just need some feedback for kids, this is perfect. So let's say a student has sent you an essay. Let me actually find one from when I was an English teacher and copy and paste it in here. This works for paragraphs. This works for pretty much everything. What's nice is it uses that 6-trait writing rubric. I know if you're a science teacher, it does add in like that 3 C's component for the evidence and providing all of that. And then for paragraph writing, it does kind of scale down that 6-trait rubric. So it's a basic rubric, not the crazy detailed one, but it works. All right. So I have just copied and pasted my student's essay in here. She was a 10th grade student. So when I come down here, I'm going to select 10th grade. What's nice is it goes 1 through college if you have an AP class or something. And then I'm going to type that this was an English class. And then I'll click the magical grade the essay button. This tool is meant to save teachers time and energy. Okay, I think it's still thinking. Sometimes it takes a minute. Let's go. Here's the rubric that it uses. Let me zoom out a little bit. It's taking its sweet time this evening. I guess the hotel internet is not very good. Oh, here we go. Here it is. Okay, sorry if I'm making you dizzy. All right, so it graded the essay. So it gives a score. Each category is out of 5. And what's nice is it gives a short explanation. There's inconsistencies in paragraphing. The paragraphs could be more clearly organized. What's also nice about explanations is this is clearly a 10th grade level vocabulary feedback. If you're submitting a 4th grader's writing, the explanation is in much simpler terms, and I like that. So you come down and there's all this different feedback. What the great part is the overall improvements down here. So it gives different areas that can be worked on. Essay could be more effectively organized. Content. While the essay includes all the details, some of the points could be further developed and explained. Now, again, this isn't super detailed, but it is pretty customized, and it seems to be the best free tool that I have found to support grading writing, the most time-consuming grading out there. So it gives advice on every single area, and then the overall impression. With just a few revisions here and there, it can be more engaging and well-crafted. What's nice is if you like to do writing conferences, you can pull a student up, copy and paste, and go over this right then and there with them. If you are looking for a way to get through 100+ essays, this might be a great place to start. Maybe you're really focusing only on giving feedback on content. Perfect. You highlight this, copy and paste it, change it to make it more of your voice or more comprehensible for your student. And bam, you've got not only the grade, but then you have some feedback as well. So this can be great for mentees that are overwhelmed with, this is what teachers do on their weekends for 8 hours a day is grade. Or if you are tired of seeing the same narrative essay or the same kind of science lab report and you just need some support, this is a great tool for it. You get unlimited assignments to grade each day, so no problem. You can print it with the comments, Doretta. However, it looks just like this. So like you could print it off and it's not like really organized or anything. You just print the page. That's the only way you can do that. You have to like cut this off kind of. You can highlight and copy and paste onto something else. But yeah. So it's a great free tool to speed up the grading process. I hope you have a teacher in mind you could pass this on to, or for yourself to save yourself. That would be a great thing. Yes, that's my strategy. And there's one more collaborative strategy that I want to go over with you all. And this one's important because we are coming up on dun 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 testing season. And we all know that is aimless wandering around a room. I don't know, are any of you guys testing coordinators in here? And you have the stress of like resetting the computer. Oh, Julie, good luck. Or organizing the SAT test. Oh, Doretta, you too, okay. So you guys are gonna be super busy. But for the rest of the teachers that have to proctor and the mentors that have to proctor, it can be mind-numbing. So I have a few ideas for you to help make it a little more interesting. And Doretta and Jill, you guys can do this as well because we're all on the testing boat together. A great idea that I actually did years ago was having a testing snack buddy. So I would choose someone I kind of already knew, maybe your mentee, and we would talk about our favorite snacks. I love anything chocolate. I love anything with pretzels. Maybe they have an allergy that they're gluten-free or they don't eat, like they allergic to peanuts or something. Get to know what they want. And then each testing day, I buy a snack for them and they buy a snack for me. And then in the morning before testing, you exchange a snack. And you would be amazed at how exciting it is. It's like Christmas Eve kind of, because you have no idea what snack and you might discover a new one. So it's a fun way to not only build a relationship during testing season, but kind of add, oh yeah, I would have never thought to bring, apple chips to testing or something. And it gives you that snack to look forward to during the day. Another idea is to pretend to make a spider web. As you walk around the room, how can you weave through the desks to make like a really pretty spider web? It's more time consuming than you think, and you're still walking around, making sure kids are doing what they're supposed to do and doing beautiful things. I love this one. If you are someone that sends out positive vibes or thoughts or prayers, whatever you think about that, just as you walk by kids, sending that out to them, a positive thing. You're not saying anything out loud. You're just thinking something positive about the student or saying a prayer for them or sending positive thoughts, whatever it may be. But that can be a great way to keep your mind on positive things and not like, I have 708 minutes left of this. Or also keep some silly putty in your hand. And as you walk around, try to make a certain shape without looking at it. And then take a break and look down and go, whoa, I did make that monkey, or I did make the banana or whatever it is. But it's something to keep you busy and keep your mind a little occupied while you are actively proctoring. So good. So Lindsay has started it. I'm wondering if any of you have any tips to give the people in this group, but also to post here so that we can pass on to our new teachers some more ideas about how to make testing a little more interactive, something competition. Lindsay, I love it. Who has the most steps? Can you think of like the highest step number you've ever heard of? I'm sure there's a lot of steps. But go ahead and write in the chat box anything you've done during testing to keep your brain occupied, or any advice you have that we can pass on to other new teachers. Oh my gosh, Julie. That is amazing. Takes some creativity too. That's funny. Some ideas to keep your brain occupied, add a little spice to testing weeks. Yeah. Ooh, theme days for what to wear. I like that. Oh, Doretta, I love that. Now the kids are engaged and encouraging each other. Good, good. Jennifer, you do the same thing, encouraging notes. Candy makes wonders. It makes everything better. Yes. Any other teacher survival tips out there? Karen, how fun. I bet those stories were amazing. It's like a newsletter every day. How fun. Future plans for your class in person. Yeah, yourself personally, Audrey, absolutely a little reflection time. Yeah, surprise treats are fun. Maybe I'm just like highly food motivated. So Julie, if you were to decide what animal I would be, I would definitely be like a dog, like a golden retriever or something. That is so funny. Now I'm gonna be like, what animal would my kid be? Yeah, that's fun. Any last testing thoughts to make this season a little bit better? Oh, Jennifer, that's a great way to use that. All that butcher paper to cover content. Yes, absolutely. That's a great one. Good. Well, keep putting those in the chat box. If you think of any last ones, we can all collect them. And when we start twitching and kind of going crazy after day 3 or 4, we can send those out to each other or our staff members. Awesome. Well, good. So I do want to remind you all, I do have April and May left of the AI webinar series. If anyone's come to those, it's been great to see you all there and hopefully be able to use some of those tools. April is dun, 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 assessments, AI tools for assessments. And then May is about content presentation. So here's a link to sign up if you haven't already. I'd love to see you all there if you can. If not, I think you do get the recording sent out to you. That's what I was told. If you haven't gotten those recordings, send me an email and I'll be sure to get those to you. But yeah, they've been a lot of fun to do. So to accomplish our objectives, we've gone over self-care, something to give to your mentee and a strategy you can use. But my last favorite strategy is humor. I think laughter is the best relationship builder. I'm a big fan of laughter. I love laughing fits. And these are some of my favorite little memes that are kind of funny. So if all else fails, find something to laugh about and laugh at yourself when things kind of go sideways or you mispronounce a word or whatever it may be. But include that humor, especially in your relationship with your mentee at these high times of stress. That's cool, Carrie. I love that. So with that, you all are free this evening about 16 minutes early. I appreciate your time, your energy, your thoughts. If you haven't posted on that Slido, make sure you do so I can mark off that assignment for you. But I appreciate you all. Thank you for the work you're doing. And I hope you all have a restful and fingers crossed, a warm spring break. So have a fabulous evening, you guys. All right, you're welcome. Bye. Have a good night. Enjoy the snow day. Yes, absolutely. I'm always here to encourage you guys. I'm your biggest fan. Good night, Lisa. Thanks, Katie. And you're welcome, Julie. I'm glad that that zombie riddle worked out well for you. Absolutely, Doretta. Yes, thank you. I hope I do get home. We shall see, right? Thank you. You're welcome, Julie. Have a good night. Yeah, sure, Carrie. Absolutely. Yep. All right, what's going on? Oh, wait, I can't hear you. I think you're still muted. There you go.
Sorry, I
You're good.
haven't done this.
I love
in a
your
while.
curtains. Those are beautiful.
Yep, my mom got those. Thank you.
Yeah.
I wanted to let you know things aren't probably popping up on the other end because I have been dealing with health issues all year long, so I'm way behind on everything.
Oh,
But I
goodness.
plan to take spring break and catch up on everything. Is that okay?
That's totally fine. But while I have you, hang on. Let me see. Let me go
I mean,
into.
it's been a while, so
That's okay. That's okay. I understand life gets in the way. Are you doing better or are you still kind of battling some things?
no, I'm doing better now. I had to have surgery. I had
my
to have some
goodness.
cancer removed, and then while I was in surgery, they found out I had a breathing issue. So I've been on oxygen for the last while, and I get really pooped out, and I'm being forgetful right now. And like Audrey had to tell me there was a meeting tonight, and I was like, oh no, I can't get in. So I've been getting
Oh
my
my
reading done and
goodness.
everything. It's just I haven't had any oomph to do stuff. So like I said, I'm planning on taking spring break and trying to get everything caught up.
That is okay. Let me make sure you go into the grade book before you start taking time getting caught up. Because there's some discussions that kind of double up on the assignments, and we can definitely just set those aside and you can focus on other work. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, go in the grade book, and if it has like, it's like a green, I'm not a math teacher, hexagon, I think. That means you don't have to do it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd love
Green
to help
hexagon.
you. Are you good with
Okay.
the cancer now?
Yeah, it's all gone. They got it in the first swipe. So
Oh my goodness. I am
yeah,
so happy to hear that.
thank you.
Good. Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if anything comes up and you're like, I'm still having a hard time, what we can do is hop online and just talk through some assignments and get them done quicker. So if
Okay.
that's an option for you, please let me know. I'd love to support you like that.
Cool. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Yeah. So make sure check the grade book before you do some work to make sure you're not doing anything out exempted. And I hope the oxygen helps you. And thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. I
Sounds
appreciate
good.
you being patient with me.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We all got stories going on.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind year this year. So
My goodness.
yeah, it's
Well,
been
stay
crazy.
safe and warm.
Yeah,
And
you too.
just let me know if you need anything.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Carrie. Bye.
Good night. Bye.